I don't know. I feel like I fell in love pretty quickly. Like I think before we even solidified everything, I knew that you were somebody that I wanted. I felt hard for her. I don't know what it was. It was just something about you. Yeah.
Before marrying Nate, I could say within my heart, and even today, with everything that Nate is, his good, his bad, his ugly, flaws, and all, I will choose him 100 times over. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So today I have my husband Nate with me.
What's going on?
So today we are doing a Q&A session where Nate is going to ask me a series of questions and I will ask him a series of questions based on our relationship and also just general relationship questions, dating, marriage, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a little bit of that today, kind of give our perspective and our personal journeys and things we've experienced. So there's no right or wrong answer. It's just our personal opinions and what we have experienced and dealt with in our own lives. So who do you want to start?
I don't know. I came up with these questions and then I haven't looked at them since I came up with them. So
Okay, so we each have questions. Hopefully they're not the same, but if they are, we won't ask the same question. So I'll let you start.
you want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let me go first. What attracted you to me in the start? What was that one thing?
Okay, so in the start, by the way, we met on Facebook dating. So what attracted me to him was actually his eyes and his smile.
What?
Yes.
Little old me?
Yes, little you. But yes, definitely your eyes and your smile is what attracted me to you.
All right. Nice. I think that was the first thing she said, actually. That was her opening statement.
That was my opening statement.
Was something about my smile.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. You want me to go?
Yeah. We'll go
Okay.
back and forth.
So we go back and forth. Okay. So what was your first impression of me?
I thought that you were very ambitious and goal driven.
That's your first impression?
What do you mean?
You got all that off of first impression?
Yeah, because it's like, I can't remember what we first started talking about, but everything, you always came back to your career. And so, I don't know.
Huh. Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, my first impression was like, this girl is on it, very ambitious, wants to accomplish something in life. Yeah. Straight off the bat.
Oh, wow. Okay. I did not know that.
Okay.
That's news to me.
Yeah, no, what?
Yes, I didn't know.
I always say
I did not know that. Okay.
When did you realize that this relationship was serious?
Oh, that's an interesting question. When did I realize this relationship was serious? Was probably I don't know. I felt like it was always serious.
Really?
Yeah, because I came into it with that mindset. And
Okay.
prior to us like making it an exclusive relationship, we had that conversation of like, this is like me dating intentionally. So it's not like we just boyfriend girlfriend. Like this is something that I knew like he's a potential husband for me.
Let me rephrase that question.
Okay.
What was the thing that was like, okay, I can get into a relationship with this guy?
I think it was your honesty,
Okay.
your transparency. You were very forthcoming with everything. The conversations we had, I don't know, it was different from a lot of guys that I've dated. It was like, you were very open and honest. And I didn't get that a lot.
Okay.
In terms of like, you had to fight to get things out of people, and you kind of was just like forthcoming and just kind of very transparent and honest. And that made me feel very comfortable and secure for sure. Like, definitely.
I'll tell y'all, for me, started a date at House of Cards. That's when I was like, this is a serious relationship for me. Even though we weren't even Like, we weren't together.
Why there? Because I remember I got emotional.
Because I mean, I feel like that was like my first.
So by the way, backstory for House of Cards was when we went on our very first date before we even was in an actual relationship. That's when he first took me out and we went and had an actual date. So we weren't even exclusive yet. We were still in the talking stage, but it was our first date. And I got emotional.
Yeah, she did get emotional. And just let me know straight off hand what she was looking for. But
yes.
For me, I think that was like when I was like, okay, I can get serious with this girl. So.
Okay.
That's when I was like, yeah.
Okay. Ooh, when was the moment you fell in love?
When was the moment I fell in love?
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know. I feel like I fell in love pretty quickly. Like I think before we even solidified everything, I knew that you were somebody that I wanted, and so I can't really put a date on when I was like, I genuinely love this woman. But I would probably, if I had to stamp it, I'd probably stamp it with the Safari Park date.
Why then?
Because before going into that date, I knew I had like really, really cared about you. And so, and there were some things, you know, remember in the beginning of our relationship where we were going through the talking stage that I felt like normally if I did not love you, those things wouldn't have impacted me the way it did.
Okay.
And the fact that it did kind of, I think, shows me that I loved you way before I feel like we even. I felt hard for her. I don't know what it was. It was just something about you. Yeah, I felt really, really hard for her. And I think I met you also during a time in my life where that I was looking for that individual, and you just checked every box. And I think off the bat, I was just like, yeah, I want to be with this woman.
That make me emotional.
Don't get emotional. About to retake the video.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That's really sweet. Okay.
Was there ever a moment in our relationship that you thought we might not make it?
No, there was never a moment. Even in disagreements, I don't. Well, for one, I'm not a person who gives up easy. So, personally, for me on my side, no.
Okay.
And then even in those moments of disagreements, I've never been like, yeah, I don't think I want to do this. Yeah. It's kind of like, and I always tell Nate this, the good and the bad, I will choose him 100 times over. Like, even if it's whatever it is that he, you know, his flaws, I will take it every time, every single time. I will take it.
Okay.
So I basically agree that I will put up with whatever he's, you know, gonna give me. That's
you heard it here first. Now I was telling her before this. Okay, we talked about this a little bit beforehand. Our relationship, probably the first relationship. I don't even want to say probably. It is the first relationship where I never had that thought in my mind where like, oh, I can't do this anymore. Or, oh, I think we should break up. And so that's actually because we were dating for 4 years prior to us getting married. And for 4 years, I didn't have that thought in my mind that I couldn't do this. Or I didn't want to carry on this relationship anymore. It became more of a, do I want to get married now type of conversation I was having with myself more so than I don't think I could be with this person. So.
okay. Yeah, same.
Next question.
Okay, so I'm gonna go a little, like the little cutesy questions. You know, they ask at the parties and stuff, which we try to do at our rehearsal dinner, but it rained. So, I'm gonna ask you this. Who said I love you first?
Probably me, because like I said, I did fall really hard for you fast. So, I don't remember where or when. Do you recall?
I don't remember when or where. I don't know. Was it over the phone? No, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
I know we did a lot of creative things when we were dating. Cause like we would watch movies on the phone.
Yeah.
And started at the same time.
Keep in mind, we were long distance. We were here in Nashville, but we still.
Yeah, so we could have easily just came to each other's house, but yeah, just early on in our relationship, we just did stuff like that.
Yeah, we did.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know when or where, but definitely me.
Okay.
So who is more stubborn in our relationship? Since we're on that, go ahead.
I am. And that's the honest truth. I'm very stubborn. I've gotten a little bit better, but I'm very stubborn. You could blame my dad for that. So
Come from his side?
yeah, it definitely is from his side. Cause me, my sister, all of us be stubborn. My brothers just don't listen, hard-headed. We think we know it all, you know, but it's okay. I'm getting better, right?
Yeah, of course.
Am I though?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's great.
Okay. Who spends the most money?
Who spends the most money? Probably me. Yeah, I think it's me. I joke about this. It's not like an actual saying that I would say, but I'd rather buy it now than buy it later. Because I mean, I'm saving money at the end of the day. Whether I save money now and then buy it later, or buy it now and save money later, it's like the same thing. So I mean, I'm a big fan of, if I really want something, I'm gonna just go buy it. You know, figure it out type of guy.
Figure it out.
Yeah. So I think it's me. What do you think?
I think so.
You think so? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's the saver. I guess more so than me.
Yeah, I try to make better financial decisions, and I try to instill it in him a little, but you know, he's gonna do what he wants to do.
I'm a spender.
Okay.
Well, I'll ask this.
Okay.
What is one thing that annoys you about me? Be honest.
I know what it is. So
Let me hear it.
the one thing that annoys me about you is the picking at your fingers.
Oh. That's a bad habit.
Yeah, that's a terrible
That's
habit.
annoying?
Yes.
Probably picking at it now. Gotta keep my fingers out the frame.
I don't know if it's like a nervous tick or whatever, but
I don't know
that
what it is.
annoys me. That's honestly it. I don't really get annoyed by you.
Okay. I don't.
Anything annoys you?
Oh. I'm gonna tell you all. Listen, she's very cute, but she does have a habit with burping. Yeah, letting it out.
I do.
Yeah, so she does burp, and when I say burp, it's not like a cute little belch. It's a burp. And so that is one thing where she'll eat a good meal. We walk around the house, she just lets it out. And I'm like, how can something so cute?
So listen to what he just said. He literally just said, walking around the house. Do I do that out in public?
No.
Okay. So I feel, and y'all let me know if I'm wrong, I feel like if I'm in the comfort of my home, I should be able to just let it all out. You know, I don't wear makeup around the house. You know, I don't think any of y'all, you get comfortable. And I'm comfortable with you. So I don't just, do it out in public when we're around people. So, but he feels like I should like show him the same respect that I show people and not burp so abruptly.
I guess I'm on the train of thought of like, I think there's a quote and I'm going to misquote it, but it's like, comfortability is the enemy of like growth or something like that.
Okay.
Because we are so quick to do things for other people that we don't do for each other. And so like, I'm on a train of thought of like, if I am being, I don't even want to call it like respectful, but if I am getting dressed and going to work and giving my coworkers everything I got, giving the people I support everything I got, and I come home and I'm like, oh, I'm comfortable. My first instinct isn't to give her everything I got. Then right now I'm losing. That's how I see that.
Well,
And
okay.
go ahead. Well, you can refute that. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, but I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, what about the other aspect of, yes, I'm comfortable with you, so you're trying to say I still need to, I guess, I don't want to continue to, keep my hair tied up and what's not when I get home because I had to do it at work. But it's like, at what point does a person be themselves? Fully themselves? Because like at work, we put on a face, a performance. And then when you get home, yes, as a wife and as a husband, there is obligations of, you still got to do your part. But at the same time, there should be I feel like a threshold of, you can be yourself, but also keep in mind you need to still do certain things to make sure your husband is happy.
Yeah, I think there's a balance to strike there for sure between, being myself and then being that person. Because again, in dating, we're all dressed up, we're ready to go.
Yeah.
We look good, we act good, and then you marry, and then it's kind of like the comfortability sets in. It's like, I'm gonna walk around with my hair tied. I'm gonna walk around no haircut, my beard not edged up, and I just wanna paint that picture for you. That's long story short. That's how I see it.
No, I
It's
agree.
like I wanna look good and take care of myself for her.
No, it's good. I agree. I totally agree.
Or like cooking, even like sometimes you. I know you said that's your habit.
What?
But like cooking, you like to cook.
Oh,
make breakfast.
yeah.
If it's me, I wasn't a breakfast eater. But I do know on days, even though I'm not a breakfast eater, if I'm gonna cook, I need to cook for her because she deserves breakfast.
Yeah.
So it may not be something that I'm comfortable always doing.
Yeah.
But for that person, I know you'd like it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do it for you.
You get in these relationships and you do all this stuff just to get in it. And when you get in it, it starts to fade in terms of the things you used to do, you don't do anymore. The effort is not there anymore. It's like, you just get comfortable, like he said. You get too comfortable. And that's what you can't do. I try somewhat not to do that a little bit.
Yeah, I think we all do, right? And I mean, I think us also, you have to realize that this person is comfortable around you, and some things you just accept, right? It's not like it's like relationship breaking things.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna close on that.
So I'm gonna get a little bit deeper with him.
Okay.
So I kind of want to ask you, and kind of give them a little bit of insight on, our perspective on our relationship and how we've only been married 7 months, by the way. So we're not going to talk too much on marriage, but we will talk a little bit on marriage thus far, even though there's a whole lot of life still for us to live and challenges we're going to face in this marriage. So we're going to talk a little bit, a majority about the dating phase. We've dated for like 4 years. So therefore, a lot happened in those 4 years. So we could talk on that. So the question I want to ask you is, how do we handle disagreements? Or how do you handle disagreements? And then incorporate it into how we have been kind of handling it.
There's a load of questions, so I'll do my best to keep it short.
Well, answer.
How do I handle
you feel.
disagreements? Mm-hmm. Well, I think the first thing is coming to an understanding that everyone thinks differently. Mm-hmm. And going about something or doing something a certain way, there's oftentimes two ways you can do it. It's never like this sure thing, that tried and true formula that always works. And so I think with disagreements, just understanding why you're thinking that way, understanding your thought process is not in that may be like a double on that, but communicating throughout. And so like if I'm disagreeing, I'm communicating with her, this is why I disagree with that decision. And then I expect her also to say, this is why I disagree with this decision. Mm-hmm. And then I think in doing that, you can find, okay, her way is still the same way, just a different way of going about it. I don't know if that really answers the questions. Yeah, I think just communicating throughout the whole thing is the main thing. And not take it personal. Because even if you agree to disagree, there's still some emotional intelligence you have to have there to not take it to heart or take it personal what this individual is doing or what your spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance is doing, and their reason for doing it is their reason. And sometimes you can't understand that, and you'll never fully understand a person and how they think and why they go about things. But I think in those scenarios, communicate it out and then just understand that it's okay to disagree on certain things.
Yeah. I mean, that's usually what help, it's just basically a healthy debate somewhat, but no one's perfect. We're not perfect. The one thing that I can say for me personally, and kind of Nate won with, is that when we get into disagreements or arguments, I don't hold things too long. I might hold it for the rest of the day, but by the next day, I'm good. I don't hold grudges. I don't, I'm the type of person, like, I just want us to get back to normal very quickly. So I might be quiet and to myself for a while or for the day, or, it doesn't last long. Some people can go days and weeks.
Yeah.
I personally cannot. I get stressed out and I don't like being stressed out. So that's the one thing, like, you kind of won with it on me for sure, because I don't hold grudges at all.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm not gonna say I hold grudges, but I do hold on to things. Because I'm a person that's like, oh, I see patterns or themes, or you did this like 2 months ago because of this, and now you're doing it again, and it's kind of the same thing. So there may be like an issue with this thing. And so I think I have to be conscious of that and not nitpick or pinpoint things. And that's where it goes back to that emotional intelligence about not wanting to tear her down or bring her down. And I think for me, it's just simply like trying to understand this person and why they're doing the things they do, and why we keep going down this train
path.
And so I think for me, it's just being conscious that her feelings matter. And although I don't hold grudges, I can't in the same sentence be like, oh, and you did this and this and this and this 2 years ago, and now you're doing it again. And so I think doing that is kind of toxic to the relationship.
Yeah. And that's one thing I also do like about Nate. Even though he says he's conscious of like the nitpicking thing, there are times where he does that, but to my benefit is actually something good, because he's calling out some things that he's noticed, the patterns, and he's like, you do this, and so it's kind of like making me think like, okay, I need to figure out what I need to do to like not do this, or why do I respond like this, or whatever the case may be. And if anything, it's like positive criticism a little bit, because even as the other person, you gotta sometimes try to like not take it as if like this person is attacking you, but more like they're trying to point out some things that are like helpful to you, so you can kind of figure out a way to work on that and be better. Yeah. So if anything, it's helpful. Yeah.
So on the theme of handling disagreements, the main thing always comes back to communication.
Yes.
And that's like a strong piece in your relationship that you have to have. Because if I'm not understanding why you're doing something, or why you're thinking that way, or why you're disagreeing with me, it's going to lead to further disagreements.
Yeah.
And so having that clear line of communication is what's super important in any conversation and disagreement. Really.
Yeah. I totally agree.
So speaking of disagreements, what is a red flag people ignore way too often in relationships?
Personally, I think a red flag people ignore, so many red flags. Lack of communication.
It always comes back to that.
No, seriously, because if you just dating somebody and they don't know how to even, explain how they feel, or you get into a disagreement and they disappear, it's kind of like they're kind of showing you who they are before you get to that point. And people ignore it, and they're just like, oh, they're just, but it's like, what you get is what you gonna get. What you see is what you gonna get, literally. So
some people can communicate really well, even though people who like maybe their father, their mom wasn't a great communicator, and people could still get their feelings across or their emotions across to another person.
Yeah.
I think red flag, definitely communication. For me, flakiness is another one. Late texting. If you are texting me back late and we're in a relationship, red flag for sure. unless you're doing something like you're at work or like you're out of town or something, I get it.
Can
but
agree.
If you're texting me back 4 or 5 hours after I text you, or I'm not saying you gotta text back immediately, but like, or especially if you text me back and you're not telling me why you were late, like 5, 6, 7 hours go by, and you're not telling me, then that's a red flag.
I agree, because that goes back to communication.
Yeah, well,
it's as simple as saying, "Hey, I'm gonna be a bit busy today. You probably won't hear from me." Okay, cool. Now I know. So it's literally communicate. It's to me, I don't know. It's so effortless. Like, just talk. Like, just talk. It does. To me, I feel like it lessens the stress on both people's side, because we both know, like we're both on the same wavelength. There's no confusion, because when you don't communicate, it's like you're assuming I did this and I am assuming you did this, and then we come home and it's like this thing isn't done. So we didn't communicate. It's literally the simplest thing in the world. I'm not saying I'm perfect at communicating, but I'm better than I'm pretty sure a whole lot of people. The only time I lack communication is when we get in disagreements. I'm a person that I shut down a little bit. Just a little bit. Because I'm a person, I process differently. He wants to like talk about it now, and I'm like, I need a moment. Give me a second, let me gather myself, and then we'll talk about it. But he's like, no, let's talk about it now. So that's the only time that my communication kind of slips away, is during that moment. Because I'm trying to figure out what happened, what went wrong, why did I respond the way I did or did what I did, and I'm trying to figure it out in my head. But in other aspects, I feel like we communicate somewhat well.
We do. Yeah. One of the reasons I'm like, let's talk about it now, is because I'm a person that don't hold grudges. Like, yeah, I'll maybe remember you did that, but it's not like I'm going to treat you any type of way. But it's just like, I'm going to talk about it now, because if you come to me 4 or 5 hours later, tomorrow, and talking about this, I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. That's in the past.
I'm not going to take till tomorrow. I just need like a few, like maybe an hour.
That's why I'm like, let's go ahead and get it out now, because we going to hammer it out. And then after that, we're smooth selling. But if you're trying to hammer it out later, I'm like, man, I'm not even worried about that anymore. Don't come here stirring up old feelings. I'd say another red flag is, and fellas and ladies, if you're talking to somebody and you're asking them about, basically, I don't want to use the cliche question like, what do you see yourself 5 years from now? Mm-hmm. But they don't have a plan or a goal that they're trying to achieve, and they're just kind of floating through life. To me, that's a red flag. Some people can float, and it could be a good thing, right? Especially if they have somebody who's more structured, may provide balance in their life. But if you're dating someone seriously, especially at our age, and they can't give like a clear interpretation of what they want to do in life or be in life, that may be a red flag.
That is true.
I mean, obviously you have to assess each situation, but that could be a red flag.
That is true. I can totally agree with that. I'm going to switch it up a little bit. How has our relationship changed since we got married?
That's a good question. So for me, and again, when people, because I feel like this is a common question.
It is a common question.
Like,
yes.
How has the relationship changed since being married? What's different, man? And so for me, I think it's a mind change, so a state of mind change. Where in the past, sometimes when we get in those disagreements, I could choose to, whatever it is, what it is, I'm going about my day or whatever. Mm-hmm. Where now it's more of I need to work this out with this individual, because this is somebody that I live with, and this is someone that I share a life with. And so I need to work this out now. Or more so, I'll be more I guess specific in the scenarios. How we mentioned earlier about just doing things for one another, whether it's like cooking or combing my hair or brushing my beard or putting on some smell good around the house. It's things that I normally wouldn't have done, but now I have to be even more considerate to this person that I'm sharing my life with.
Yeah.
And so I think in that piece, that's the main thing that changes. I mean, you can get scriptural and biblical and be like, love your life. Love your wife as Christ loved the church, and he gave his life for it. And so that's I don't want to say unfortunately for a man, but as a man, it is a daily sacrifice to my wife. I'm putting her first as opposed to the needs of myself. And so I think mainly when you talk about what's changing, this goes back to that mind change. You have to work things out. You have to do things for her, because this is the woman that I chose to be with for the rest of my life.
And it's for me, it's a lot of similar things, but also the part about, at least for the woman's side, I know for sure, and I've told a lot of women that has asked me this question, it gives like a sense of security, secureness, safety. Like, this is my person, and I consider him like my whole second half. And honestly, yes, and I feel like it's my duty and my job to protect him, his heart, and always considering him in every decision I make, everything that I do. I'm always thinking of, I gotta make sure Nate is okay with this. I gotta make sure Nate is, because before, even in just dating, it was still about me, really, honestly. Yeah. And now, forget the me, it's a we.
You're no longer operating as yourself.
No.
You're operating as a unit.
As a unit, yeah.
And so everything that you do, you have to be considerate of your other half.
Yeah.
And so state of mind change. With decision making, it changes. Going about your everyday life, it changes. And then choosing to put this individual first is what also changes.
Yes.
At least for me.
That's for both of us.
So what keeps a relationship strong and long term? Been 4 years.
Communication.
Clearly, guys, there's
communication. That keeps a relationship strong. Well, definitely communication. And I feel like dating, like, that keeps things alive. Even though we're married now, we still do things as if we're still dating. And people would be like, y'all always going on like all these places and exploring. But, like, that's how you keep things fresh and new and exciting. Even though it's only been 7 months, but I pray that as we continue to journey through life, that we're able to, travel and do new things and go out and experience things. And you gotta have time for y'all. And that's one thing I don't want it to get lost in when we have a child, is that we lose this, and now it's all about, kids. Because I still want this, and that's the other thing. And I've been telling Nate lately, it's like, I'm having fun with this. We really want kids, and we will. It's just, I don't know when, because I'm enjoying this so much. And we don't want to lose this. And I know once you get a kid involved, the time and the effort kind of goes that way, which is a blessing. It's just, we have to really strike a balance for sure. So,
yeah, got to continue to date. That's the main thing. You got them by dating, keep them by dating. And just have fun in your relationship. I think.
Yes.
Again, the comfortability, the stability, sometimes it can cause you to just kind of coast. And I think, throughout this life, it's not always about coasting.
Yeah. And I feel like just that little date night could probably save a relationship, honestly.
Yeah.
Some people just need to
see that
take a moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember the roots.
Get back to where how we got here.
Started.
Yes. Yeah. Literally. So, what questions should couples ask before getting serious?
All the red flag questions, right? I think what questions should couples ask
before getting serious? Yeah.
I think for one, they should ask themselves if they're ready.
Yes.
Prior to even pursuing that individual or being with that individual or making the statement of, yeah, I'll date you, we can be exclusive to one another. I think you have to make that real time assessment with yourself of, am I ready to be in a relationship? Because it's one thing to, just be out, I guess, and going about your life. But it's another if you're going from relationship to relationship to relationship, seeking and you're wanting that person. I think mentally you have to make that assessment within yourself. And then you can get into what can I ask this other individual? Like the thing where I mentioned previously about not necessarily where they see themselves in 5 years, but what are their goals? What are their ambitions? Do they want kids? If you're somebody who wants kids and you're wanting to date somebody who don't want quick kids, you have to make a real decision about, is this an individual you want to be with? Because if your processes, or if you're living life and you're like, I want to have kids, but then you're with somebody that doesn't want to have kids, that can create a conflict later down the line. Also, if you're religious and you're dating somebody who isn't religious, you have to have a real conversation with yourself.
Basically, if your values align.
Yeah. If your values align, then that's okay, right? But if they don't, then you may have to reassess.
Because you're gonna come to a point in life. It may not be, when you're dating, but definitely in marriage, and even when it comes to growing kids, you're gonna have to make a decision on. You might be raised a different way, and then you end up being with somebody that was raised a different way. And it's kind of like you have to have that conversation of, how are we going to make these two different ways come together in terms of values? And it's kind of like it's going to become a conflict. So it's good to have those conversations beforehand and not wait, because you need to know, do I need to go any further with this person? Because we're not even aligned here. And it's all about being equally yoked and all that. So
yeah, I think, because you may not have faced it now, but there's gonna come a point in time where that conflict is gonna arise up, and it's gonna go to a boiling point, and then in that moment you'll have to handle that situation. So it's best to get the understanding of, who is this person I'm dating? Are their values aligned with mine? Do they want the same thing that I want? Are their aspirations the same that I would like in an individual? And then go from there. And if those are all like yeses, not saying that they all have to be yeses, because I'm sure there's things that she wanted in a man. I'm 5'6", maybe 5'5.5", right? And she might want a 6 foot man, but I'm not 6 feet, and she got with me. So those small things are okay, right? But these other things, like the core value system of a person,
seriously,
is what really matters.
It does. And then there's this book I read that kind of, honestly, it helped me a lot. And I'm gonna give him a little shout out. Relationship Goals by Michael Todd. Great book. Okay, the book was good. And honestly, that shaped me a lot. He talked about a lot of great things in that book. I talk about intentionally dating, and also there is this one thing that he said, is that, are you the person that you want to date? And that hit like a ton of bricks. And I'm like, no, I'm not. At the time, I was like, no, I'm not. And that's when I started to change my life around. And I was like, part of the reason I changed my life around, but what I want, I need to try to be. So that's the other thing. And when to piggyback off of what Nate said in terms of, are you personally ready for a relationship? If you were to get in a relationship today with yourself, is that who you want to be with? Is that a good person? Is that person, able to communicate? Is that person, able to compromise? Is that person able to express emotion? Is that person able to take on the things that are your flaws? Is that, like certain, think about that. Like seriously, is who you are today, can you date yourself?
Yeah, just think about all the baggage, I guess, you bring along to the relationship, make that assessment.
That's a good point.
And then if you have that and there's some things that you could share or fix from an individual standpoint, you have to ask yourself that question.
Yes.
It's on both parties, right? You have to assess yourself as an individual before apparently like you assess somebody else if they're able to do things.
Yes.
Or how if they're ready for a relationship.
Yes. And exactly what he said in terms of, what did you just say?
Personal baggage.
Yes, the baggage. So that's a real thing. Like if you haven't healed or forgiven or let go of your past or the things you've went through in past relationships, you will take that into your next relationship. You have to get that stuff off of you. You have to let it go. You have to go in fresh, renewed, open mind. And I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of how it went for me and Nate for me on my side. Before I met Nate, I went through a whole season of change. And I mean, literally, I was fasting, I was praying, I changed my life around. Before I met Nate, I was a totally different person. And he knows. I told him everything. And that's the other thing about dating, which I'm going to get to with me and him. When I met Nate, before I met Nate, I was a totally different person. And there was a point in my life that things started to open, like my eyes was opened. And I feel like it was God just calling me to tell me, you need to change your ways. And you need to change the things that you're doing. So, and I did that. I did a whole 180, literally. I became this whole different person. And that's when I started like really diving in and trying to, get deeper into this walk with Christ. And also, I started to work on myself, become a better me, heal from the things that I've went through. And also when I met Nate, I was in such a good place in terms of with myself. I knew who I was. I knew what I wanted. And from dating, I told Nate what I wanted, but I'm looking for a husband. And when I said that to him, he's just like, okay. Sometimes when you say it to the guys, they'd be like, oh, they get scared and shaken up, but he wasn't. So I was pretty forthcoming and honest about what I wanted and what I was looking for. And if that's not what you're looking for, obviously I would have hoped that he would have walked away from the situation, but he didn't. And then the other thing was, in our dating stage, we talked a lot. We asked almost every question in the book. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So we got to know each other like very deeply before we even became exclusive. He got to learn some things about me that I was very fearful of telling him, because I felt deeply that this was gonna be the turning point, that he was not gonna like want to be with me. So I had revealed all of that to him, and he still chose to continue with me, which was like, well, okay then. But that's to say, when you're dating, don't just stay on the surface. Get deep. People feel like you have to be at a certain point in your relationship to get so deep. We was talking like this from the jump. We weren't even in an actual relationship when we were talking like this. We was just dating. Mm-hmm. So, because I don't want to just get in a relationship just to get in it. And then, but I'm saying this to say, get deep with your people. Whoever you're dating, seriously, if you're just talking to somebody, get to know them. And if they start shaking and getting scared about the things that you're asking, then move on. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's a good opinion. I mean, and it goes both ways when you're making those connections with people when you're getting deep. If you are realizing there are things that they didn't heal from, there's going to become a point in time where you may do something or say something that opens up that wound for them that hasn't fully healed. And then you may see a completely different side of that person. And so, again, it takes a lot of self-work prior to getting into a relationship. Because, I mean, honestly, you should be dating with the intent to marry, right? Instead of dating with the, I just want to have fun type of thing.
Yeah.
And so I think if you can understand it from that perspective, then you will make, maybe you'll make different choices whenever you're like, oh, this is a partner for me. Mm-hmm. Because now you're going about, I'm looking for a wife or I'm looking for a husband. That's funny because I do have a question on here that says, do you think, I'm sorry, what advice would you give someone struggling in their dating life? And that whole thing you just went down was great advice that you can give somebody.
Yes. I will say if you are struggling, I always tell people, like, I made it creative a little bit. I think we both did. We used to do this thing where we on the phone all night. We did like 21 questions, or, we used to go search like all these deep questions. And then I even bought a card game that kind of had the different categories, and it kind of talked about the past and the future. It talked about family. It talked about,
I think it was like family, goals. There's one like sexual, like questions you can ask. I can't remember the other category.
But basically, it's like these bunch of questions in each deck of these categories, and we used to play this game. So you could get creative. It doesn't have to be like, a real sit-down conversation. You could have these type of conversations over dinner, over lunch, just sitting on the couch or outside on a beautiful day, and it helps you to get to know this person, even though, yes, you won't know a person fully, but at least you know what you're up against. But if you are struggling, I would suggest try to be honest with yourself. Like I said, if there are already red flags that you're seeing, pay attention to them. I mean, don't ignore them, because there is a chance that red flag is going to be the thing that will show you who that person is later on. So that's just my opinion. But I will say, like I said, our relationship isn't perfect. We aren't perfect. We're still working through things. We are learning together.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's life. And you learn.
Yeah.
Whether you're learning other individuals, you're learning your partner. Mm-hmm. We're never gonna we don't share the same brain. So we're married, we're considered one, but we don't share the same thoughts. We don't share the same ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. So, any last words that you want to just throw in there?
For advice?
Yes. Any advice for daters out there, or people that's about to get married?
Oh, that's a lot though.
What?
That's like 2 in 1. That's a 2 for 1. So dating advice for me is always look within yourself. Know what you want, and know when something is reasonable, right? Because you can have these goals or this perfect idea of what a man or a woman looks, but is that actually reasonable? Mm-hmm. Are they really going to have all these characteristics, all these traits?
Yeah.
Because then again, when you're imagining this or writing this down, you are thinking best case scenario, right? You're like, this is what I want. Like, and you never write down the issues you want. You always write down the pros that you want, never the cons that you want. Mm-hmm. So I think whenever you're making that assessment for yourself or who you want as a partner, just be reasonable and understanding that, people are always going to people, right? And so there's going to be moments and situations where they may not align with that individual that you crafted up in your mind because you're thinking about a perfect man or a perfect woman. And so you have to be understanding. And so whenever you make that self-assessment within yourself of, okay, let me be reasonable in the description of an individual that I want, right? And then let me be real with myself. When I write that down, am I any of those qualities that I just written down? And if not, what can you do to work on that to change it? Yeah. If so, then great. whenever you get into your next relationship or your talking stage, ask those deep questions that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
What are they, are they someone who is goal driven? Are they family oriented like you? Are they loving? Are they caring? Can they communicate their feelings to me? It shouldn't be a guessing game.
No.
Ever in a relationship.
Never.
What is he doing? What is she doing?
No.
Where is he at? Where is she at? Does he love me? Does he not love me? It should never be. It should be known.
Yes.
I come home every day, even when I'm not home. I know my wife loves me. Right? I knew she loved me when we were dating and in a relationship. I never had that question. Like I may joke and be like, "You love me," but that's just a cute thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you should never have to question individual's feelings for you. And so those are some good, I think, relationship advices for me. Learn how to compromise. Learn when to say, okay, I disagree, and that's okay. And don't take a lot of things personal. I think are some main things for dating. Marriage now.
Well, I'll go on the dating.
Okay.
And then we'll do marriage. My advice would be honest. Don't try to put up a front or be this person that you're not just to get with this person. Be yourself. If you can't be yourself and this person doesn't like you, then move on. But be yourself. Be honest and be yourself. So for marriage, getting married, obviously, I said it earlier in the video, if you're about to get married to somebody and you can truly say, well, I'll say this for me. Before marrying Nate, I could say within my heart, and even today, with everything that Nate is, his good, his bad, his ugly, flaws and all, I will choose him 100 times over. So the question is, if you are engaged or to be married, can you truly ask yourself, the person that you are with today, and if they were to stay the way they are today, would you still want to be married to them years later? In terms of all the flaws that they have, all the stress that they may cause you, or the little stuff that they pick on or whatever. Like, can you deal with that for the rest of your life? Me, I said to Nate, I can. And I will. The good and the bad. I will choose it over and over again.
Yeah. I mean, I just echo that message for people not necessarily engaged but dating and they want to get married. Is you got to make that assessment with that person, because again, people can change. The likelihood of that happening though is not always as high as you may want it to be. And so if you are in a situation where you're like, I can accept everything that this individual brings, then yeah, that's a great marriage. But if you're in a situation where you're just like, oh, I can't stand it when he does this, or he or she, and they're doing deal breaking things, and you're still in that relationship, then maybe it's time to reassess if I should get married to this person, because the last thing you want to do is get into a marriage, have all these things coming to the forefront, and then maybe separate because of it. And so I think you have to make that decision firsthand before the engagement. Yeah. Really, if this is an individual that I can see myself with for the rest of my life. Can I see this person as the parent of my child? Can I see this person as integrating over with my family? Like, all those things have to be assessed prior to you making that lifetime commitment to that person.
Yes, I totally agree. 100%. So I appreciate you guys watching. That's just a little bit of our perspective, opinions. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video.